One leader, one truth, and one big change: how Ethan Grant saved his company. Have you ever imagined what happens when a leader decides to look closely at reality, but ends up discovering something he never expected? Today you will learn the story of Ethan Grant, a visionary entrepreneur who made a simple visit to one of his stores, and everything changed. Let's find out how this experience challenged your leadership and transformed your company. Before following, leave your like, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you don't miss any more inspiring stories like this. Ethan Grant was not just an ordinary businessman. He came from a humble family, where he had to fight hard to achieve everything he has today. As a young man, he worked hard to pay for college and never gave up on his dream of entrepreneurship. With a lot of effort, he managed to found Grant Goods, a brand of household products that, over time, became synonymous with quality and affordability. He started with a small store, but his vision was always big. Over the years, the company grew exponentially, expanding to hundreds of units in different states. Its mission has always been to make people's lives easier by offering quality products at fair prices. And that's how Grant Goods won over so many customers. But with success also came challenges. Ethan realized that as the company grew, he began to lose track of the details. And that made him uneasy. The financial reports were great, but something wasn't right. Something about the relationships with his customers and his employees seemed off. But what was it? Decided to understand what was really happening, Ethan knew he needed to go beyond reports and external perception. He could no longer rely solely on numbers, metrics, and superficial feedback. He needed to see it with his own eyes. And that's when he made a bold and radical decision, visiting one of his stores undercover without informing anyone. He wanted to see reality without the camouflage of good presentations and without the filter of those who work to impress. Ethan chose store number 213, located in a busy neighborhood, without alerting his staff. He dressed in simple clothes to go unnoticed and entered the store like an ordinary customer. Upon entering the place, he was greeted by the familiar aroma of coffee coming from the store's small cafe and the impeccable organization. At first glance, everything seemed in order. However, Ethan's goal was not to feel proud of the store's appearance, but rather to find out what was really going on there. He was ready to see the flaws that the reports and corporate meetings didn't show. As Ethan started walking through the store, something caught his attention. The environment was apparently perfect, but there was something about the details that didn't fit. The service desk, which should have been ready to offer immediate support to customers, was empty. What's more, there were 3 customers waiting to be served, clearly frustrated with the delay. Ethan walked over, got in line, and decided to watch what happened next. After a few minutes, employee Derek appeared. But the way he acted made Ethan shocked. No rush, no excuses, and above all, no sign of interest in customers. Derek's service was cold, impatient, and even rude. When a customer asked to return a product, Derek simply refused without even trying to explain the exchange policy. At another point, when another customer asked for information about a product, Derek barely looked up from his cell phone and pointed in the direction of another department, without even looking at the item in question. When it was his turn, Ethan, undercover, decided to test Derek's behavior. Politely asking for a price check, Derek again didn't even look at the product. He just indicated a nearby scanner and returned to his distraction, without caring about the customer's needs. It was at that moment that Ethan's penny dropped. This wasn't just a one-off failure but something deeper. Ethan was horrified. That was not the experience he imagined offering his company's customers. He always valued quality service, and that was the opposite of everything Grant Goods stood for. But at the same time, he felt there was more to the story than just a disinterested employee. After the experience with Derek, Ethan decided to explore the store further and went to one of the shelves, where an employee was organizing the items. That employee was Todd, a middle-aged man who seemed to be completely focused on what he was doing. But unlike Derek, Todd immediately noticed Ethan's presence and stopped everything he was doing to greet him with a genuine smile. Ethan, still in disguise, asked Todd if he could help him with some products. The difference in service was clear. Todd not only responded patiently but offered helpful tips and suggestions, showing a deep knowledge of the store and products. The conversation flowed naturally, and upon realizing how much Todd knew about the store and its customers, Ethan decided to start a more personal conversation. "You know the store very well," said Ethan. "How long have you been working here?" Todd smiled and replied, "Almost 10 years. I like this place. I like the clients, the work. For me, it's like a second home. But to be honest, it's been hard lately. We're short on staff and some of the younger ones don't seem to care as much. But I do what I can to keep everything running smoothly. Ethan began to understand that the company's accelerated growth, while positive, had created blind spots. The policies that were supposed to help management were, in fact, making life difficult for those who were really willing to do their best for the company. An excessive focus on numbers and reporting was obscuring Grant Good's true purpose, providing a quality experience for customers. A week later, Ethan decided to return to the store, but this time as himself, without disguises. He wanted to face the situation head-on and show his team that he was committed to correcting the company's direction. Upon arriving at the store, he called all the employees to a meeting and, surprisingly, revealed that he had been there undercover. The immediate reaction was mixed. Derek looked uncomfortable, clearly surprised and maybe even embarrassed by the situation. Todd and the other employees were curious, not knowing exactly what Ethan was planning to do. Ethan began, "When I started this company, my goal was to make people's lives easier, both our customers and our employees. But I realized that, at some point, we moved away from that purpose. I saw a lot of dedication and effort from some of you, but also behaviors that do not represent Grant's values. Goods. This needs to change." And then, turning to Todd, Ethan announced, "Your dedication has not gone unnoticed. Starting today, you are promoted to assistant manager. You deserve this." The room filled with applause, and Todd, visibly moved, could hardly believe what was happening. But Ethan didn't stop there. He looked at Derek and continued, "Our company is built on respect and good service. If that's not something you can offer, maybe this isn't the right place for you. But if you're willing to change, I'm willing to give you a chance to reinvent yourself." Over the following months, Ethan took extreme measures to ensure something like this did not happen again. He knew that structural changes were needed to turn things around and align everyone with Grant Good's core values. One of the first actions was to create more effective training for the entire team, focusing not only on processes, but also on the culture of respect and quality service. Ethan also invested in strengthening the team, hiring more people and ensuring that existing employees had the support they needed to perform their roles well. He knew that happy, well-trained employees would result in happier customers and a more productive work environment. One of the most significant innovations was the creation of an anonymous feedback system, both for customers and employees themselves. This system would allow problems to be identified more quickly and the company to always be attentive to the needs of those on the front line. And, to the surprise of many, Derek accepted the challenge. Under Todd's mentorship, he began to demonstrate a real change in his attitude. He began to treat clients with more respect, dedicate himself more to his work and pay attention to issues he previously ignored. Although the change wasn't easy, Derek was finally doing his best, and it started to show in the store's service. Over time, the culture at Grant Goods began to transform. Sales increased, customer satisfaction levels improved, and above all, employees felt more motivated and engaged. The change Ethan initiated was not just about numbers, but about creating a positive environment where everyone felt part of something bigger. Ethan learned a valuable lesson during this process. For him, the true success of a company is not just in numbers or accelerated growth, but in the impact it has on people. Those who buy its products and those who make everything possible on a daily basis. His disguised visit turned out to be the catalyst for a profound change at Grant Goods, allowing him to reconnect the company with its original values. Ethan discovered that, as a leader, it is crucial to see reality up close, without filters or masking. Only in this way is it possible to make informed and effective decisions, ensuring that everyone in the company is aligned with the organization's greater purpose. Ethan's story is a reminder that, as leaders and as human beings, we must always pay attention to the little things, the signs in the environment and the people who make a difference. If you want something to change, start with yourself, just like Ethan did. He threw off the mask and saw things as they really are, taking actions that positively impacted not only his company, but the lives of his employees. And that was today's story. If you liked it, leave your comment below and tell me what you would do if you were in Ethan's shoes. I really want to know your opinion. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, activate the bell for more inspiring stories, and we'll see you in the next video. Rock it.